Hello, my name is Charles Webster Baer, and today is January 13th, 2015, and I would like to talk about GIG. GIG is Global Internet Government. GIG is my website, gig15.com. Now, what GIG does is GIG monitors the International Monetary Fund and the United Nations and allows everybody on Earth to understand what the IMF and the UN are doing, which is saving the planet, and GIG allows everybody on Earth to participate and contribute to what the IMF and the UN are doing. GIG is going to monitor every financial transaction on the planet Earth by every government on the planet Earth. And so this is called freedom of speech. It's also called media speculation. These are the unofficial numbers. And it's also called transparency for everybody. That's what GIG is going to do. That's what the International Monetary Fund is already doing, and GIG is going to augment that and actually do a better job of that. GIG is also going to promote reproductive rights for every human being on the planet Earth. Reproductive rights means that every human being has total and free access to all forms of birth control. Now, obviously, this is mainly a female issue, and so that's what GIG is also going to promote. Transparency for all governments on Earth, which is what the IMF is promoting and GIG is promoting, and total reproductive rights for all humans on Earth, which is what the United Nations is promoting and what GIG is promoting. This is how we're going to save the planet. Okay? In order to save the planet, we need to save the environment, and in order to save the environment, we need to create a significant and sustained decline in the human population. So the human population needs to go down till it reaches a sustainable level, which is a number that future generations will determine, but I'm guessing it's around 3 billion. Right now there's over 7 billion people on the planet, and that number is going up. What we need to do as a species is do a 180 and turn around completely and do a U-turn and have that number start going down until it reaches a sustainable level. And that is how we save the environment, and that is how we save ourselves and everything else. Because right now we're killing the planet Earth and killing the environment with human overpopulation. And so we need to stop doing that, stop committing suicide, and when we need to start saving the planet. And the only way to do that is to stop reproducing. And the only way to do that is to make sure that everybody has the ability and the encouragement to stop reproducing in the education. So that's half of GIG, the United Nations and reproductive rights. The other half of GIG is the International Monetary Fund and total transparency for all governments on Earth. And GIG is going to give total transparency to all governments on Earth immediately online with GIG by monitoring every financial transaction by every government on Earth. And again, these are unofficial numbers. This is media speculation. But it's a beginning, it's a start, and GIG will improve and get better. And the International Monetary Fund should be doing this already. Unfortunately, either they're not, or they're not being totally forthcoming with the information. This is public information, and everybody deserves to understand it clearly and simply. And that's what GIG does. That's the GIG mission. GIG is saving the planet by allowing everybody on Earth to understand and participate in what the International Monetary Fund and the United Nations is doing. That's GIG, Global Internet Government, www.gig15.com. My name is Charles Webster Baer. Today is January 13th, 2015. I am in Tianjin, China, and I am the owner, founder, and president of Global Internet Government. And basically the point I'm making is that the mainstream media sucks, and it always has, and we need to improve it quickly, and GIG is the first step in that direction. Okay, gig's not perfect, it's just better than everybody else. Okay, it's not time to remove stupid people from Earth, but it is time to remove stupid people from the governments of Earth. Okay, the slogan of gig is Save Earth Now, and gig is the future of the world media. And I'm going to go ahead and draw the gig logo. This is the logo for Global Internet Government. Okay? GIG. See it? GIG, gig. That's the logo for Global Internet Government. Anyway, gig's awesome. It's great. It's going to happen. It's just a question of, is it going to happen soon enough? I created gig in the year 2000 when I was living in Portland, Oregon. And I've been promoting it and improving it ever since. And as long as there's freedom of speech in the future, and I'm assuming there will be, gig is going to happen, and it's going to happen big. And I just hope it happens soon enough to save the planet. Okay? And the only way we can save the planet is if we stop having babies. You know, females should be allowed to choose between whether or not they want to have 0 children in their life or 1. We're no longer at a point where women can have, 2 or more. That's a luxury we can no longer afford, like clean air or clean water. We just have to accept that as reality and move forward, okay? In this millennium, there are too many people on Earth, and we need to solve that problem. Not with war or disease or famine or drought, but with logic and common sense and simply saying, okay, we don't need to make more people. There are more than enough people on Earth. We don't need to make more. We need to take care of those that are here. That's how we're going to save the planet as a species, and that's what gig is going to be around to assist on. So that's Global Internet Government. And now I want to talk about me, because that's really my favorite subject. My name is Charles Webster Baer. I am living in Tianjin, China. I was born and raised in Santa Cruz, California. I'm 45 years old. I've never been married. I don't have any kids. I'm Buddhist and atheist and agnostic. All humans are agnostic. Buddhism is a philosophy, not a religion. And if you say, well, what kind of agnostic are you? I say, I'm an atheist kind of agnostic. Anyway, I went to high school in Newport, Rhode Island. I graduated from the University of Hawaii at Hilo on the Big Island in 1994 with a BA in political science. And then in 1995, I moved to Santa Fe, New Mexico. And in 1999, I moved to Portland, Oregon. And in the year 2007, I moved to Bend, Oregon. And last year, in 2014, I moved to Tianjin, China, where I am now. And China's really awesome. It's great. I love it. Stay here for a while. So that's who I am. I'm running for president of the United States of America in 2016, 2020, and probably 2024 as a libertarian. Less government, less taxes, and more freedom. So vote for Charles Baer for President of the United States of America. Thank you very much. Now, let's look at the future of gig. Gig is going to be supporting and promoting the United Nations And the main issue in the United Nations is female reproductive rights, and GIG's going to be promoting and supporting that. We need to make sure that every female on Earth has the right to total and free access to all forms of birth control. We need to make sure that all societies, culturally, politically, financially, support a woman's decision to not have any more kids. You know, we need to push this forward real quick for everybody, and we're going to do that, so that's great. Also, on the IMF front, Europe is united in one country, okay? The European countries have united under the European Union politically, but mainly economically, with one currency. And that's the future. That's what's going to happen in the future. And so what GIG is going to do, with help from the International Monetary Fund, is GIG is going to help unite all of Asia into one economic community with one currency, politically, and GIG is going to help unite all of America into one country. North America, Central America, the Caribbean, and South America into one country, one economic union, just like Europe has done. Europe has already done it. Europe has shown us the way, and so now we need to do it with America and Asia. And GIG is also going to help facilitate a sale of Eastern Russia to China. GIG is going to assist, just like America bought Alaska from Russia, so too is China going to purchase Eastern Russia from Russia for about $55 trillion, and I would get the commission on that, about 5% commission. Anyway, but so here's what GIG is going to do. They're going to, I'm serious about that. GIG is going to turn Asia into one economic union just like Europe, and GIG is going to turn America into one economic union just like Europe. So North America, South America, the Caribbean, and Central America will all be one country, just like Europe. And in order to do that, all these nations in Asia and in America need to become GIG compliant. And in order for a nation to be GIG compliant, it has to have a balanced budget amendment, which means it's illegal to go into debt, which means if the country does go into debt, that the government has broken the law, and these lawmakers and politicians go to jail for breaking the law. So that's what a balanced budget amendment is. It means it's illegal to go into debt. So that's what countries have to have. That's what they have in Europe. In Europe, it's illegal to go into debt if you're part of the EU, and nobody does, so unless you're Greece. But you can't cook the books with GIG, because it's all transparent. So, that's the first thing, to be GIG compliant. If you're a nation and you want to be GIG compliant, you have to have a balanced budget amendment, making it illegal to go into debt. The second thing is you have to have low inflation, which means your inflation has to be below 2% of gross domestic product every year. See, this is what Europe has done. Europe has already shown us the right way to do it. So this is what Europe has already done. So this is what we need to do to be GIG compliant in Asia and America, to be just like Europe, and to continue this trend of unification economically and politically. That's the second thing. The third thing is you need to be completely transparent, and that's what GIG is already saying. Every financial transaction by every government needs to be completely made public immediately to everybody, 100%, total transparency. So, those are the three things. And also, if there's a fourth thing, it would be total, freedom and democracy, freedom of the press, and total reproductive rights for all people, which is mainly a female issue, but everybody has to have the right to make the decision to not have kids, and they have to be, given total and free access to all forms of birth control, and they have to be, given education and be culturally encouraged to make that correct decision to not have children and to not reproduce. So that's what GIG is doing. So I've told you about GIG, I've told you about me. So now I want to tell you about the history of the universe. And congratulations, you've listened to me for 15 minutes now, so that's excellent. Okay. 14 or 15 billion years ago, either the universe was created or the universe has always been around, and humans cannot understand the concept of infinity because we're not smart enough, and the universe has always been around. It's never been created, it's always been around, but 15 billion years ago it was so small that humans can't comprehend how small it was, but it grew to a point, a size where humans could conceive of it, and then that's what happened 14.6 billion years ago with the Big Bang. So after the Big Bang, the universe was this tiny energy plasma which expanded and cooled. And as it expanded and cooled, it formed quantum particles, dark matter, dark energy. And as this dark matter and dark energy expanded and cooled, it formed quantum particles. Leptons formed electrons, and quarks formed protons and neutrons, and leptons also formed photons. So all these quantum particles began to expand in the energy plasma and cool, and then they formed atoms, and dimensions were formed. And so this energy plasma continued to expand and cool and form hydrogen atoms, and then these hydrogen atoms continued to expand and cool and form hydrogen clouds, and gravity acted upon these hydrogen clouds and pulled these hydrogen clouds together, and in the middle of these hydrogen clouds the pressure was so intense it created fusion, which fused the hydrogen atoms into helium atoms and created stars. So now the universe is an expanding clouds of hydrogen and stars, and the gravity acted to pull the stars together to form galaxies, and when supermassive stars died, they exploded and formed supernova, which created black holes. And the reason we haven't been able to explain black holes mathematically is because calculus does not allow for the curvature of time. In other words, calculus allows for the curvature of space at a certain point, but assumes that that curvature of space is the same at a separate point in time, which it's not. The curvature of space flexes and changes over time, so we need a new form of flexible calculus and a new flexible dimension to measure the changing of the curvature of space with time. Then we'll be able to mathematically explain dark matter, dark energy, and black holes. Okay, so now 5 billion years ago, the sun was created, and so were the planets around the sun and the moons. And then 3 billion years ago, life was created, either by future alien robots or probably just as a random act. Just chance. We're lucky to be here, and we need to stay here, at least for another couple billion years, and then we'll evolve into computers, and we can take off and colonize the universe as robots, because in 5 billion years from now, the sun's going to explode and fry us, and our galaxy is going to collide with the Andromeda galaxy. So we've got another couple billion years here before we evolve into robots and go colonize the universe. Okay, so then life was created about 2 billion years ago as bacteria, created just randomly, accidentally. The bacteria DNA reproduced and mutated and evolved into algae, which evolved into seaweed, which evolved into fish, which evolved into reptiles, which evolved into mammals, which evolved into monkeys, which evolved into humans, which is where we are right now. And 2,500 years ago, Buddha was born and grooved down south from Nepal to India and started hanging out with everybody and grooving, and he figured out the soul. And the soul is, if the universe exists, then that's it. And there's no afterlife. But if the universe is just a dream and doesn't exist, and the universe is just a hallucination, then you have a soul. And when you wake up from this dream called the universe, you are your soul. So this Buddhism went east to China, where they understood it and got it right, because it's a philosophy, not a religion. But then it went west to Jerusalem, where they got it wrong and misinterpreted it, and then they formed a religion, or two, or three, or four, and lots of shenanigans ensued. Then Europe had the Industrial Revolution and had technology, so white people took over the planet with technology. And then there were some world wars, and then now we are at 2015 AD on the planet Earth. So everything's cool, everything's going along according to schedule, everything's fine, there's no problem. We just need to take care of this environmental issue that we have right now on planet Earth called human overpopulation. Every problem on the planet Earth right now is simply a branch off the tree of the trunk of human overpopulation. Okay? If we can fix this problem of human overpopulation on Earth right now, then everything else will fall into place. So that's what we're going to do with global internet government and the United Nations and the International Monetary Fund and freedom of speech and democracy and freedom of the press and reproductive rights. So, I think I've just explained to you everything that I can. I want to explain one more thing. Every December 1st, Hawaiian time, there is a President of Earth election at the Global Internet Government website, which is gig15.com. What you do is you go to gig15.com every December 1st, Hawaiian time, go to a chat room, register, log in, and post a topic that says, I vote for blank for President of Earth next year. And then whoever gets the most votes is the new President of Earth, January 1st to January 1st. There's a month off between the election and the winner of the election becoming President of Earth. Anybody can vote for anybody. You can only vote once. Anybody can run. Anybody can be elected. The current President of Earth is actually two females who are attending Tianjin University of Technology and Education. One is named Dan Lin, and the other is named Wang Yuan. And they're both, I think, 19 years old, and they're co-presidents of Earth because they both won the election. But usually only one person wins the election. The next President of Earth election will be 2015, December 1st, Hawaiian time. And like I said, anybody can vote for anybody. Whoever gets the most votes wins the election. So that's President of Earth. So I can't think of anything else to say. My name is Charles Webster Baer. Today is January 13th, 2015. Global Internet Government. Get involved with it. Learn about it. Talk about it. Talk about it online. Talk about it on Twitter and Facebook. Talk to your friends about it. Learn about it. Get involved with it. Because it's the future of the world media, and it's how we're going to save the planet as human beings. And we need to do it now, and we're going to do it now, and that's fantastic. And so it's all good. Everything's cool. Don't panic. It's all going to be okay. And that's about it. All right. Peace in the hood. Rock out. Keep it real. Congratulations to the Ohio State Buckeyes on a fantastic football season. Go Seahawks.